Alright, hey, what's up you guys? Gavin here. Today we're looking at a splendid band, the Cranberries. The album we're looking at today is Everybody Else Is Doing It, So Why Can't We? Anyway, first thing we're going to talk about is my first impression of the album. Now, my first impression of the album stemmed from, I guess, my exposure to the song Linger. I first heard that song off of Click, with Adam Sandler. In the movie he was like going through some stuff, but the point of the song was that it was him and his wife's song, and he was playing when they met, type thing. Anyway, I really liked that song. It was really slow, and it was really like, you know, I could totally understand why they picked that song as their song. It's so relaxing and soothing, and you know, it's loving, and you know, talks about how, you know, you make the moment linger. You know, if you've ever had a moment where you're about to kiss someone, that feeling is just like intense, and when it's really drawn out, it just feels like forever. So yeah, that's my first impression of the song. I guess for the album, it really made me want to look forward to this album, because off that song alone, I feel like I could really get into the rest of the album and Cranberries in general. So yeah. So the next thing we're looking at is the lyrics for this album. Now, a lot of the lyrics are going to center around the, I guess, the topics of like love, dreams, and I guess freedom, really. We'll look up the lyrics to Linger so you understand where my my love for this album and my first impression really came from. Alright. So it starts off, if you could return, don't let it burn, don't let it fade. I'm sure I'm not being rude, but it's just your attitude. It's tearing me apart. It's ruining every day for me. I swore... Oh, this is the right one. Yeah. That was the wrong one. I swore it would be true, and fellow, so did you. So why were you holding her hand? Is that the way we stand? Were you lying all the time? Was it just a game to you? But I'm in so deep. You know I'm such a fool for you. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? So, it's definitely from a point of view of someone who is, you know, super in love with this person, and it kind of hurts to see them understand that they have this much love for them, and it almost feels like they're taking advantage. And it really does seem that way from what the lyrics depict, and they kind of just, I guess by linger, they just kind of like, you know, let it happen, kind of don't care, and that's never a good feeling. But yeah. Oh, I thought the world of you. I thought nothing could go wrong, but I was wrong. I was wrong. If you could get by, trying not to lie, things wouldn't be so confused, and I wouldn't feel so used. So yeah. So, if this person could just, you know, be themselves, not be so devious, I think it would work best for the relationship and for everyone involved. So yeah. Alright. So the next thing we're talking about is the band similarities. Now, to me, the Cranberries is a really nice mix between maybe Lily Allen, Coldplay, and like a sprinkle of Spoon. Like, it has that like rock vibe that Spoon has, but it's very calm, like much like Coldplay allows. And especially with the female lead and the female vocals, it definitely represents and kind of, you know, follows what Lily Allen might bring to music and singing, and it kind of feels like she has an accent, but it's not all there. But it's really nice, and it's dare I say feminine, and I really like it, and it's a nice change of pace from a lot of male-dominated, I guess, world of music, in my opinion. Alright, so the next thing we're talking about is my favorite song off the album. Now, my favorite song, hands down, is probably going to be Linger, just because I've heard it so many times, just because I can relate to it. It's nice, you know, every time I watch Click, it's always on, and it's so easy for me to be exposed by it, especially because it's also on the radio. Another one off this album is probably Dreams, but mostly Linger. I think Linger really set the mood for what I was in for when it came to Cranberries and their album. So yeah. Alright, the last thing we're talking about is the singing and or screaming styles. Now, obviously, if you've heard the Cranberries before, you probably know that they don't really scream. It's a really nice, like folk singing, much like that of Jim Morrissey. I think I might be wrong, but the lead singer from The Smiths. A little bit of that. A little bit of The Spoon. I should have mentioned this earlier, but Fleetwood Mac is what came to mind as another band similarities, and I think they really possess that like feminine folk, and it's really entrancing, and it kind of takes me to like a magical place in like a land of like clear blue skies and flowers and, you know, breezy trees. So yeah. Alright guys, so if you like that video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any other suggestions for bands or music or artists alike, leave in the comment section. I'll be sure to check them out. And if I had to rate this album, it would probably be a strong 4. I know you're probably like, you only listen to it once, aren't you supposed to? Sometimes there's a couple, what is it? Excuses? Exceptions. There you go. It reminds me of so much of Fleetwood Mac, and I grew up with Fleetwood Mac, and so there's a good chance that I will probably be listening to the Cranberries a lot more. So, don't forget to subscribe. Peace.